Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This version right here is on the original Xbox, which is backwards compatible on the Xbox 360, and even on the Xbox One, you can download it digitally. I think it's only like $10. Upscales to 4K. It maintains 4:3 though; it's not 16:9. But we're actually not going to play this version. We are going to play this version on my Nintendo Switch. Yes, really. Yeah, you can see here, Mako's excited. Yeah, actually she's being kind of a pest right now, but that's okay. So anyway, I am playing this on the Nintendo Switch. This is my Nintendo Switch that I have Android 10 installed. And if you're wondering how I am doing that, my last video kind of covered that a little bit. So, okay, I think Mako is done being a pest right now. For whatever reason, every time I try to hit the record button and unpause, she keeps meowing and being a pest. So anyway, we're going to try this again, take two. So anyway, yeah, I am playing on the Nintendo Switch. There is no Nintendo Switch version. This is actually an Android version. You know, you go on the Google Play Store, you know, it's available on Android, it's $9.99. Pay for it, download it, and then Nintendo Switch being an Android device, you know, just downloads it. Well, not officially an Android device. So anyway, but I have my Xbox controller plugged in. It's wired into it, so that kind of makes it a little simpler. The main problem I have, and this is kind of something I covered with the last video, the main problem with plugging the Nintendo Switch into the TV with Android installed is it kind of outputs the resolution based on what your TV is set at. Like, I'm playing on my small computer monitor, which is only like a 1080p signal, or it only needs a 1080p signal. I can't really plug it into my main TV because it's a 4K monitor, and then it automatically outputs to 4K. Yes, the Nintendo Switch outputs to 4K. But yeah, I mean, for a system with a 5-year-old CPU running Android, it kind of boggles it down running at 4K. 1080 is not too bad, but yeah, 4K, yeah, it kind of slows things down. So, but anyway, the problem with running Android games on Nintendo Switch is even though the GPU is really good. What? I don't know what she wants. See, I fed this cat sausage. I took her outside. I played with her for a half hour. And she's just a spoiled little brat that wants more. So hopefully that doesn't come through the mic too much. Yeah, she's a needy kitty. So anyway, yeah, I mean, the problem with playing Android games on the Nintendo Switch is even though it has very good graphical capability for a tablet, the CPU is 5 years old at this point, and there's better phones out with better CPU power, and a lot of the newer games that come out for mobile aren't really going to run that well. So, oh, did she finally lay? Oh, okay, she's finally laying down in her bed. Yeah, that's a good kitty. Yeah, it's a good kitty. So, if you've never watched any of my videos before, any video with Mako in the background, this is kind of how it goes. So, that's okay. It's just the way it goes. But yeah, I mean, there's that, and it doesn't really work too well with the Pro controller. Like, I tried plugging in Nintendo Switch Pro controller, even wired, and the buttons really don't align up very well like they should. So just an Xbox controller just plugged in on the side works perfectly fine. You can sync it Bluetooth wirelessly, but I usually kind of have a little bit of trouble trying to sync it, so I just connect it with a wire and it works just fine. But then again, if you're going to go through the trouble of running Android on your Nintendo Switch, it has to be a version 1 Switch, but if you're going to go through that much trouble, then it's kind of more of a handheld thing. And you know, maybe I'm still going to tinker with it. I'm still going to try and figure out how to plug Android into, or plug it into the TV with Android, and I'm going to try and figure out a way to default the resolution to 720, and that way it doesn't really mess up that much. So, or it doesn't really bog down the performance, I mean. So, and of course I'm trying to play at the same time while doing commentary, and I'm never really good when I do that, but that's okay. But yeah, this is the Android version. It does have controller support. It works really well. The only problem with the Android version of Knights of the Old Republic is it doesn't really seem to let you go into the menu. Like, in order to go to the menu, I have to actually have the tablet in my hand and hit the little gear icon to go into the menu. For whatever reason, the start button or back button, and even when I'm playing in handheld mode, doesn't work. So that's why you see my character needing to be leveled up, and I'm not going to the menu to do that. But that's okay. Which, you know, if I'm home playing, I'm going to probably play my Xbox anyway or something like that. So, uh-oh. Let's toss a grenade at this guy. Unpause it. Ooh, I think I lost my guy there. I may be in some trouble. There we go. Oh, didn't need to throw the other grenade. That's okay. Oh, let's switch to my main character here. Use a healing item. It has been so long since I played this game. God, when I played this, it was a really good game. I mean, this game is like, gosh, at least, I want to say 15 years old by this point. Oh, unpause it. You know what? Let's just take the hit. Got plenty health stuff at this point. Loot the supplies. But yeah, when this game came out, which of course, this is the original version that came out, and I don't remember if it came out on PC at the same time or a little bit later. I think it came out a little bit later. But, I mean, you saw the original Xbox systems plummet, or not plummet, surge in sales because of this game. And it's just a role-playing game. It's not like an action game. I mean, you still move around and stuff, but think of it like an Americanized Final Fantasy game in a way, if you've never really played this or anything like that. But it uses the D20 RPG system, so it's very much like 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons, which is, you know, pretty cool if you're a Dungeons and Dragons player. Let me hit that guy. Come on, attack him. There we go. Let's use another health pack. Actually, I think we're okay. Let's see, loot that. No, I don't want to use my stuff. I want to loot. There we go. Just had to use all that stuff. It's really not, like, even though it supports a controller, it's not really, like, controller friendly on the Android version. So, like I said, when you're playing on tablet, it's not too bad because you can just kind of click on things and click on the screen because it's a touch screen, which is nice. But if you're getting this just to play on the TV, I mean, even if it's your Nintendo Switch running Android or if it's just a regular tablet, it just doesn't really work that well, in my opinion. I mean, it works okay, but yeah, that's not too well. See, I'm not really a fan of buying digital games. I kind of made an exception for this one because I kind of want to make a video on it, and I wanted to play Knights of the Old Republic on my Switch. But the nice thing about this is if you're running Android on your Switch and you are buying an Android game, it's your same Google account. So you can buy an Android game, but it also applies to whatever Android device you have, your phone, a tablet, whatever. So that's kind of cool. Oh, I'm poisoned. Yeah. We're just kind of showing off the game right now, so I'm not too worried about all the stuff. Let's have Karth take the lead here. Oops. Oh, that's a anti... There we go.
It's open. Stop right there, or I'll...
Of course, the dialogue covers the whole screen, because that way you can touch it. Oh, I'm probably going to lose my main character. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I lost Karth. Oh, my whole party's been killed. That's alright. We'll do a new game. We'll do a new game here. And we will pick a soldier. Just a quick character. Name, we don't care. So this is kind of cool. I like this. It's going to do like the whole Star Wars opening crawl. Really, what I really loved about this game when it came out, and I didn't really like it at first. I kind of had to go and pick up the game and a second time and give it another chance. But the story in this game is really, really good. I mean, it does a really good job of when you're playing establishing like the backstory of the game, and then how that ties into your main character, and how the backstory with your main character and the main villain ties in. I mean, it's really good. I mean, what I like about it was, if you're a Star Wars fan, it's like watching, when you're watching the story unfold, it's like watching a whole nother movie in a way. So, I mean, that's what was cool. I didn't like the second Knights of the Old Republic game that much. I really liked Star Wars The Old Republic, the MMO, which is kind of like the third game, but not really. But unfortunately, it just didn't really go anywhere. So, but when it came out, I definitely loved the game. I played it all the time. So yeah, we got our opening Star Wars crawl here, which, you know, you can't have a Star Wars anything without an opening crawl. This is one of the things I was a little disappointed with God, what's that movie that came out between episodes 7 and 8? God, its name escapes me. The one that leads into episode 4. But yeah, of course the Solo movie. I haven't seen the Solo movie. But of course, here's the ship that you're on. Cool cutscenes. Of course, it's in widescreen, which is nice, because on the original game, it's letterboxed in a 4:3 aspect ratio. So even when you're playing it on an Xbox One, it's still 4:3 letterboxed. But the actual gameplay is upscaled in 4K if you're playing on an Xbox One. Or I think it's Xbox One X, yeah, to play on for it to upscale to 4K. But even upscale to 1080p, it looks really good. And I'm capturing at 720, so that way I can still capture at 60 frames per second, and that way show off any dips and whatnot. But yeah, of course they made this. They made this the second game. Then they made Jade Empire. So it was pretty good kind of trilogy of games there. But anyway, and grab all the stuff. And of course, I gotta go to the menu. Which means I gotta disconnect my Switch from the capture device real quick. So I'll be right back so we can get back to this gameplay. Okay, every time I try to undock the Switch and go to the menu and go back, I accidentally restarted the game once. So I had to create another character. Then kept locking up my controller. But yeah, finally back in the gameplay here. Again, if you're going to be taking your version 1 Nintendo Switch, installing Android for the purpose of plugging it into your TV, it's not going to work as well as you expect. So plan on playing it in handheld primarily if you're going to be doing that. So, well, that's okay. Just a nice little extra bell and whistle. Oh, we gotta switch this guy here. We gotta use the security. Oops. There we go. Gotta use the security skill on the door. Of course, the combat's just kind of stand there and shoot at each other. Nothing fancy. But what I thought they should have did is when they made Star Wars: The Old Republic, if they could have made it, and this is all in hindsight, by the way, if they could have made it something like Mass Effect, you know, where you're kind of moving around, controlling, and playing your character that way, I think that would have went over just a little bit better. Let's see, let's go ahead and grab his remains. Any items over here I might have missed? I think we're okay. But, I mean, I remember when, like I told you, this was like, when I played it the first time, I didn't really get it, didn't really understand it, even though I had a couple friends that were absolutely in love with this game. But I really liked how it was the D20 system, you know, which was, you know, the standard 3rd edition Dungeons & Dragons system, which still the best version of Dungeons & Dragons, if you ask me. But, I remember playing a free trial of Star Wars Galaxies. And it was like a 1-week trial at the time. And Star Wars Galaxies, you know, was pretty popular. There was no World of Warcraft, but, you know, had a pretty good player base. And I couldn't really get into it. I liked how the game was. I respected it, but I wasn't, like, into MMOs, really. World of Warcraft, when my roommates were playing that and kind of got into that, that kind of became the exception. But the whole time playing Star Wars Galaxies, it was like, oh, I wish Knights of the Old Republic was a little bit more like this. And then I kept saying that. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just go give that game another chance. And I always liked the old Super Nintendo Final Fantasies and the Squaresoft RPGs. So, oh, I'm trying to heal myself here. There we go. Alright, I need to open this door without accidentally healing myself. There we go. So anyway, I got back into this game and just basically fell in love with it ever since. So, and again, Knights of the Old Republic 2 wasn't too much of a fan of. I mean, I still played it, still enjoyed the story mode, but it wasn't as good as this game. But fast forward, when Star Wars: The Old Republic came out, it was like, all right, sweet, you know, it's Knights of the Old Republic, but an MMO. And I don't think, if it wouldn't have come out as an MMO, I think I would have looked at it and went, oh man, I wish this was an MMO. Which is kind of funny, because now everyone looks at it and goes, oh, it should not have been an MMO. So, but you know, that's all in hindsight. But what I think they should do with Star Wars: The Old Republic is, because they got the story, they got all the character designs and all that kind of stuff. They got all the sound effects, all the music, all the voice recordings, the story. I think they should make the game from the ground up, but make it for console. And, you know, it doesn't have to be the same gameplay. It could be like different gameplay, like Mass Effect or something like that. But you know, you still have all that core material. So I think if they did that, it would be pretty good. And they could add some kind of multiplayer element to it if they want to. And they probably never will. So, but yeah, I mean, that Star Wars: The Old Republic has a pretty good amount of content in it, even at this point. It's a free-to-play game. I mean, you gotta kind of subscribe for at least like a month just to kind of unlock some perks, you know, which is fine. But you know, even as a free-to-play single-player experience, you know, it's an MMO, you can still get a good story experience. Lots of voice acting in the game. Lots of voice acting. Oh my gosh. I remember driving down visiting my parents for one weekend, and I had my Xbox with me, and I was playing this game on Xbox, and my dad kept going like, "Why do you play this game so much? Why do you enjoy it? It looks boring," because he didn't get role playing games or anything like that at all. And I just told him that, like, because of the story, it's like watching a whole new Star Wars movie. Which, of course, the prequels were just really popular at the time. Let's see, let's try and launch a grenade at that guy. And unfortunately, I can't level up because I can't hit the go to the start menu. Hopefully, they'll patch the Android version to where I can do that. Looks like I gotta level up. Oh well, that's okay. I think it's a good place to end the video here. Really like the background in this, like kind of spiraling towards the planet. It's kind of cool. But yeah, and just as a kind of just to kind of go over some stuff real quick here. So yeah, I mean here's Android running on my Nintendo Switch. So feel free to check out my previous video where I kind of cover that in detail a little bit more, but I'll just kind of do like a little quick overview. I don't know if you should be able to see the arrow there. But like, you know, here's the Google Play Store. You can just download stuff and install Android apps just perfectly normal on it. I've got Xbox Game Pass on here, so I can actually play Xbox games on Nintendo Switch from the cloud, which is pretty cool. NVIDIA, I got the GeForce Now, and of course RetroArch, you know, like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, even PSP and N64. And Drastic, this one I just bought and installed. It's a Nintendo DS emulator. You got to pay for it. It's $4.99, but for what you get, it's actually pretty cool to play your backed up games on here. And it runs the DS core on RetroArch doesn't really run too well on the Switch, but this standalone emulator runs really well on here. So I can play DS games on Nintendo Switch as well. Now, of course, I got Final Fantasy VI, the Android version. It's like the old one before they pulled it off the market recently because of their new collection coming out. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool. Oh, and of course, Magic the Gathering Arena, because, you know, that's just awesome. I mean, a lot of this stuff I can play on my phone, but it's just so much cooler to play this stuff on the Switch. Oh, and I got that little RCM jig device. Oh, no, I was going to say I thought it was in this box, but to boot up Android, you got to plug this thing into the bottom USB port to do the upload the file so it knows what to do, and you do the recovery exploit. But you got to plug it into like a PC or like a device to upload it. So I bought the little RCM loader device so I can keep that with me everywhere I go, so I can easily bounce back and forth between the stock Nintendo Switch and Android 10. But yeah, anyway, that is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Just kind of like a little overview of it. Nothing too into it, nothing fancy. Eventually your character becomes a Jedi and whatnot. But mainly I just kind of want to show you guys that I'm playing it on Nintendo Switch because I just kind of thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, please leave a comment down below. Please like and subscribe. I am uploading this to YouTube and also Rumble. So whichever platform you are watching on, please like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitter and Parler. Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for coming to my video. If you would like to help my channel grow, please like and subscribe, and please click on this little bell icon so you never miss a future video.